question we had this week was from Lisa, and she was wondering, should you start working on a new novel while you're in the editing process of another one? That is a great question, and we actually had our very own Teresa answer it. So I'm going to read her answer, and then I will give you some additional thoughts, Lisa. So Teresa said, I've been balancing the two, writing a new one and editing. They are so very different. That helps, but I definitely need to focus when a book is being edited, and I don't know that I can do well in the editing process if I'm not in the story with my whole mind. But that's just me, and I don't have that much experience with two at a time. So Lisa, this is one of those things where Teresa can give you her thoughts, I can give you my thoughts, but it's really you exploring and being curious and figuring out like what works for you. So for me, I also find it very hard to be pushing multiple projects forward at a time. So I tend to just pick one, and sometimes God will like switch me up as I'm working on that one, like, nope, work on this one first. But I always have like one priority project. So right now my priority project is When God Equips a Writer. And I know that that means that no other project can take the priority in my time or in my brain except that one. But I'm also creative, and so sometimes as I'm working on that one, whether it's as I'm actually working on it or when I'm just driving in my car on my morning walk, like this morning, I will have these other ideas pop into my brain about books that I could write or novels or stories. And so when that happens, I give myself permission to brainstorm and brain dump and to put those notes somewhere where I can find them. So I know I've shared before, but I use Evernote, and I will just brain dump my notes there, or I might put them in a specific journal if I'm handwriting it, and then I'll just put a note in Evernote like this journal, you know, these pages, look here. But what that allows me to do is it allows me to capture the ideas while they're fresh, while they're interesting to me, and I put down as many details as I can. And then I'm not using like my editing or my strategic on a different project. I'm just capturing it, almost like capturing a little bird or a frog. And then I go back to my priority project, and that's the one where I'm trying to harness both inspiration and discipline to actually finish it and take it to the finish line and make it the best that I can. And even though I have 4 books that are done, they're published, the When God Calls a Writer like keeps selling every week, it does well. Even though I have these 4 projects under my belt, every single new project, there is a little bit of that wonder, will this do well? Am I doing a good job? All of those questions that probably you are wrestling with right now too, Lisa. And that's why I find it so important to focus on a project and pick a project to finish, is because those feelings are going to come. And when I've picked the thing that I'm going to finish before I can do other things, it incentivizes me to not let those feelings or emotions take over or sideline the project. It's kind of that mindset like I am going to finish this and make it the very best I can, and then I'm going to let it go so that I can focus on other projects. And the excitement about other ideas is part of what propels me to finish the current project, because I can't wait to work on the other ones. So I hope that that helps, Lisa, and I'm super curious to hear how that plays out for you, what you find works. That's a great question that I know a lot of us wrestle with. And another shout out real quickly, Jessica, who's in this group, Jessica Lewis, she is very creative, and she actually has shared at our local writing group that she prefers working on multiple projects, and so she will have multiple things going. She's the type of person where, you know, she'll have ideas in her head, and then she'll be able to sit down and just like brain dump a whole new project or a whole new outline, and then it's there. And she actually enjoys like moving multiple things forward at once because she gets bored and her brain just moves really fast. So you may be more like Jessica, or you may be more like me and Teresa, where we're kind of like pushing one forward to completion. But that's part of the fun of discovering on your own writing journey. Okay,